Hello out there in great cyberlands of all lavas. Welcome to an all-new video. This video we're going to be doing a movie review of a new film that just dropped today and is the newest in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the 33rd film in the Marvel Universe MCU itself. So we're going to get right into that. Before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss this video and the other videos I put up. As always, people, if you enjoy my content here, definitely check out my other social media platforms such as Patreon, X, Facebook, Instagram, all those pretty much places. I pretty much post on a pretty regular basis, so definitely check those out. As always, people, let's get right into this. So welcome one and all to an all-new video. So like I was saying before, we've been doing a new movie review for a new film that just came out today and is a 33rd film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe called The Marvels. Yeah, The Marvels, yeah. So The Marvels is the latest in the MCU. It is a sequel to the very popular Captain Marvel film, and also a continuation of the TV show Miss Marvel, and a continuation of the character Monica Rambeau from WandaVision. And this movie has a great sense of fun, is really hilarious, and all around, it was really a surprise type of hit film. Now, like I said, it was a very big surprise because I went into this film not knowing what the heck was going to happen in this film, especially because all the delays and all the pushbacks and all the reshoots and stuff like that, and that the test screenings weren't really well. And with how, movies have been recently, for a lot of these big superhero films, a lot of people have noticed, or said, in comments said that these things, are horrible, they suck, they didn't like it, stuff like that. And so, once you see that, you're kind of like, I got doubts about this film because of what you're hearing. And from what I saw from other reviews and so forth of this film, it's kind of interesting. A lot of them have said the same exact thing, that there's a lot of inconsistencies in the stories. It felt like there's 5 different films in one film. And also that they felt that there were definitely, it wasn't the greatest that there could be, and there could have been more to it. And they could have even made another film to even coincide with it, is a lot of what I've seen. But also I've seen that there's a lot of mixed reviews saying some people love it, some people hate it, some people are in the middle. And I think that's kind of interesting because I feel that's kind of the consensus recently with a lot of these, superhero films, I'll say. Now, this film is none other directed by a lady that is an up-and-coming director who has had some success and is really starting to forge a name for herself. And that, of course, is the director known as Miss Nia DaCosta. Oh yeah, Nia DaCosta, woo, Nia DaCosta, yeah! So Nia DaCosta is, like I said, a up-and-coming director. She's directed a few things, is getting noticed, and has done some really great things. And, when they said at first that she was coming on to direct this, a lot of us weren't too sure. And I know for myself, I was like, kind of like, why didn't they get the people that did the first Captain Marvel back? Because they did a really good job. And so, unfortunately, they had conflicting, times to be able to film the film. So, of course, we got a new director. And at first, I wasn't too sure how Nia was going to do this film, especially with all the rumors. And she actually did a pretty decent job. Even though, she did a lot of, of the post-editing away. And supposedly that's a common thing I've heard. But I don't know. I still don't agree with that. I think that if you're a director and you're working on your film, you should be there to work on it. But that's just my opinion. But anyways, I think that she actually did a pretty good job. And I was actually impressed. I was really surprised by the end product that she ended up giving us. And I think that she did a good job of giving us kind of a very much a almost teenage comedy feeling vibe film, and it definitely was a lot like that. But at the same time, it had really good fun to it, lots of good comedy, but at the same time, it had its good sci-fi and serious moments. And I thought that she did a pretty good job of blending those together in somewhat of a decent, coherent manner. Now, Nia has also directed another film. If you haven't seen something else of hers, this is definitely the film that really got her noticed for being a good director. And I highly believe that this film really is her best to date. And I think that she did a really good job with this remake as well. And that, of course, is the film called The Candyman. Yeah, Candyman. Yeah, so a couple years ago, she did the remake of Candyman, and she did a really fantastic job. I think she had a really good eye for bringing to life this great horror film that was inspired by the original, but gave its own flavor. And at the same time, I think that she did a great job of bringing back Tony Todd and having him be a part of this new, version of Candyman. And I was really blown away with how good she did with it. I love the presence she brought to it. I love everything that she did. And just really shows her great directing talent with this film. If you haven't seen anything else she's done, definitely check out Candyman. She did a really good job with that. But overall, I was impressed with what she did with the marbles. And I think she didn't do a horrible job. Do I think she did the greatest? No. By far not the greatest. But I think that she did a good enough job to make it entertaining and very enjoyable. Definitely worth a watch to see Nia DaCosta's directing. If you haven't seen anything she's done, go check out The Marbles in theaters now. She actually did a pretty damn job. So this movie has a really great cast. Quite a few people returning from other works and from the original Captain Marvel film. And is a really, great cast that, quite a few of them I really enjoy. Some of them I'm like, they're okay in certain things and so forth. But overall, a pretty decent cast. So to start us off, of course, is Captain Marvel herself, Miss Brie Larson! Oh yeah, Brie Larson, woo! Brie Larson, yeah! So Brie Larson, who we all know from the movie The Room, that won her a Oscar, is Captain Marvel, of course. And, I was, enjoyed her in the first film. And I thought she did a decent job. And I definitely liked her in other films better, but I thought that she was entertaining. But at the same time, her demeanor in the first film wasn't very enjoyable altogether because it was very, robotic and, very plain and, very serious and just not very enjoyable. And what happened, I feel, is that whatever she did from that film to this film, I absolutely loved whatever pep talk she got because she really turned it out in this film. I was really impressed with her in this film. Surprisingly, I really liked the evolution of Carol. I loved that she brought more, quality to the character. I love that she was more emotion, that she had more emotion, that she was more like a girl, and that she was, she was this earthling that ended up getting these powers, and she became almost actually human again. And I loved it. I loved the evolution of it. I thought she was really fantastic. It was enjoyable to see her play more of a woman character or just a more emotion type of character that was seemed more human than robotic. And I just thought she was really fun. Was she definitely the star of the film? Definitely not. But she still shined in this and was really enjoyable. Now, another movie you should definitely check her out in, I think she was really good in. And it's probably one of my favorites of hers to date that she was in. And I just think she did a really good job in this film. And I think, like I said, I think it's one of her better roles. And then, of course, the film called Kong Skull Island. Yeah, Kong Skull Island. Yeah. I absolutely loved her in this film. I thought she worked really well with Tom Hiddleston, a.k.a. Loki. And I really appreciated what she brought to the character in the film, and I thought she did a really good job. I liked her attitude. I liked how she interacted with the other cast. And I just thought that her character was kind of fun, and at the same time, you felt like she was like a real journalist. And I think she brought a good kind of presence to her and gave us this really great kind of character that was fun to watch throughout the film. If you haven't seen Brie Larson or anything, definitely check her out on Kong Skull Island. She did a good job. But overall, really impressed with her in The Marbles, and really enjoyed just having her become more human. Like I said, I was really impressed with her in this film. If you haven't seen her in anything recently, go check her out in The Marbles. She was really superb. Now, before I talk about the next actress I like to talk about in this film, I just want to throw a thing out there for the wonderful bad guy in this film that I'm sorry, was the worst villain I've seen in a Marvel film ever. I mean, she's worse than Echo. She's worse than, half the characters sometimes that are like really one note. Even worse than Ghost in Ant-Man and the Wasp. And I was not impressed with this actress at all. I thought she was very one note throughout the whole film. She basically, like everyone said that I've heard, she's basically a female version of Ronin almost. And I definitely saw that. I definitely felt that. And I just was not impressed with her at all. And hopefully I'll see her in something else and she's better. But overall, I just think this was the weakest enemy I saw in film in the MCU altogether. And I was like really disappointed with how, lackluster she was. And she just didn't fit the character really well, I thought. And overall, I just don't think, like I said, I don't think this was a good script for this character either. So I definitely think it has to do with the writing, not just the actress, but overall, I think that she just did a great job. And I just want to throw it out there that, yeah, I think this is the weakest, villain in the MCU. But going on to a higher and better note is none other than the next actress I like to talk about, Miss Marvel herself, Miss Iman Vellani. Oh yeah! Iman Vellani, woo! Iman Vellani. Oh my gosh, this girl is amazing. Absolutely love her. I think she's so super fantastic. Fell in love with her in Miss Marvel because she's so charismatic, and she brought that charismaticness to the Marvels. She was absolutely the best part of this movie. She shined, and she shined throughout this film. And the fangirling in the film was absolutely freaking hilarious. And I absolutely loved it. I mean, from Captain Marvel fanning to Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury fanning to, pretty much any of the characters that she knew about was absolutely freaking hilarious. And Iman just did a great job of, being so natural and just being like this teen girl that is like living for it and having a great life. And I just love that Iman brought such a greatness to this and just did it so well. And she just was so freaking awesome as this character. Really enjoyed it. And like I said, I think she was the number one of this film. And I was really impressed with her. Especially going up against Brie Larson, Teyonah Parris, Samuel Jackson, and just all the other actors and stuff like that were, and actresses in this film. She held her own very well. And I just love the fact that they brought her family along to be a part of her journey. And that was freaking awesome too. And I absolutely loved it. Thought it was super hilarious and fun. Now, besides being her feature film debut, the only other thing that Iman has been in, unfortunately, is Miss Marvel. Yeah, Miss Marvel. Yeah. So if you haven't watched the Miss Marvel TV series yet, definitely highly recommend going and check it out after you see this film. Or if you haven't seen the film yet, definitely go check it out before you go see the film, so you're up to date on who Iman is as Miss Kamala Khan. And she was so great in that series. She was so fun, charismatic, so enjoyable, so cute, and just you fell in love with her because she just was that endearing. And she also at the same time just worked so well with all the characters that she played with in that series. And she just really brought out, I think, the best possible Kamala Khan you could get from the comics. She is absolutely perfection. I absolutely love her. I think she is one of the best characters from the newest of the MCU, and I can't wait to see her in more because she just was that great. If you have not seen the Miss Marvel TV series, definitely check it out for Imani's other work. She was really fantastic in that show too. But overall, amazing in this film. I loved her. Thought she was fantastic. She's the MVP for me in this film. And like I said, I can't wait to see more from her. She just was so great. A great addition, amazing character in this film, and just overall, one of the best parts of this film. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely go check out Miss Marvel to see Miss Iman Vellani in theaters now. So that brings me to the final actress I like to talk about that was in this film. And that is none other than Photon, aka Monica Rambeau herself, Miss Teyonah Parris. Oh yeah, Teyonah Parris, woo, Teyonah Parris, yeah! So, since the debut of Tiana Paris as Monica Rambeau in WandaVision, a lot of people have been wondering, where she's been, what she's been up to, and kind of how her powers have developed. And I thought they did a really good job giving us kind of an idea of how powerful Monica has become as her character of Photon. And I really enjoyed Tiana in this film. I think she did a really great job. I loved the evolution of her character. And she was another one that really surprised me, becoming super more entertaining, because versus her version in WandaVision, I definitely felt more character for her in this film. And also the same thing, like with the emotions of that, she felt more human too to me, and just more girly and all that kind of stuff, and just gives us a really great performance in this film. Really enjoyed her too. I thought she did such a great job, and I was really surprised and impressed with how she brought the character up and how she developed it more and made it more interesting. And I was really impressed with that since, last time we saw her in WandaVision. And I just appreciated what Tiana brought to it. And also I thought her interactions and everything with the different two characters, between Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel, I really enjoyed that too. And I thought they worked all so well together. And Tiana just brought a real funness to her character and giving us this great finally kind of an opener vision of how she felt about her mother's death, how she felt about blipping and all this kind of stuff, and I thought they did a good job with that. Now, if you haven't seen Tiana in anything else, she has a really small part in a great movie that I absolutely loved her in, and I think it's a great role, even though it's a very small role. She did a really great job, and that was the film called. Wait for it. Wait. They Came Together. Yeah. They Came Together. Yeah. This is a great film with Amy Poehler and Paul Rudd. And Tiana plays a worker of Amy Poehler's character who owns a candy shop in the film. And she just was absolutely delightful in it. She was just so fun, so hilarious, and just was really fun to see kind of in a non-MCU role at the time, too, because this was prior to her being in the MCU. But it was just kind of fun going back and watching it again and seeing her not as Monica Rambeau and kind of just seeing how her acting has developed over the years. And I just really enjoyed her in that. I thought she did a really good job. I thought she had some great lines, and I thought she worked really well with Amy Poehler. And I thought that she was just a really good addition to that sequence of the film. And I just think it showed that she has some really good acting chops. If you haven't seen Miss Tiana Paris in anything, definitely check it out, and They Came Together. She was really fun in it. But like I said, I was really impressed with her in The Marvels. I really enjoyed her, and I thought she was a really great asset to this movie and just made it even funner and more enjoyable. Really great performance. If you haven't seen Tiana Paris in anything recently, go check her out in The Marvels now, in theaters. Really superb. So what is The Marvels about? Basically, the premise of the story in this film is all of a sudden Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, and Photon all of a sudden start changing places every time they use their powers. And basically you have to figure out what's causing it and to stop it so that they stop trading places. And as they're doing that, they come across this plan by this evil bad guy, and basically they have to end up saving the world again, the galaxy, from this person that is trying to get revenge on Captain Marvel. Really surprisingly well developed script. I thought, it wasn't the greatest, but at the same time, I didn't see it being inconsistent. I understood it. I thought it was really well played out. I enjoyed the whole process of thought of the film. The Flerkens were absolutely freaking hilarious in this film. I love Goose, and I love that they brought him back and then had him have babies, which was absolutely freaking hilarious. And, this movie just was like nonstop funny stuff. Really enjoyable. The only scene I really didn't care too much for was there's a scene where there's a planet where everyone talks by singing. I thought that was a little stupid, but at the same time, it wasn't super long and still was kind of funny and still played into the film okay. It didn't really deter too much, I felt. And I know a lot of people are giving this negativity. A lot of people love it, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun. I was really surprised at how fun it was. There were so many great moments in the film. Like I said, some of the best sequences are when all three of the Marvels themselves are switching places in their fight sequences. That scene where Kamala is falling down after she's traded places, the photon goes up to save her. You got some great sequences where you see Captain Marvel kicking butt. You see some interesting scenes with the main bad guy character getting her butt kicked, which was really fun. And at the same time, there's just so many great scenic views in this film too, of some great planets, of different planets and stuff like that. Seeing Hala, how it looks, and all these kind of things that just make it look really impressive. Really well done film. Really enjoyed it. Thought it was decent. Thought it was good. Definitely high up on my rankings of the MCU for now. Definitely, it wasn't as good as I thought Captain Marvel 1, but still very close. Still debating on it. But overall, great film. I give it 10 golden movie boxes up. Definitely worth a watch. If you haven't gone and seen it yet, definitely go see it in theaters now, people. It's worth a watch. Really good film. So that's it for this movie review, guys. Always thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here or you have been here before, don't forget to check out any older new videos you might not seen mine yet. As always, people, thank you so much. I just want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all the new subscribers. Thank you to all my old subscribers. You guys are rocking it. And of course, people, if you want to show support, definitely check out my Patreon where I give you all kinds of extra accoutrement don't get here on my YouTube channel. As always, people, catch you in the next one.